Okay, this is the one. In the name of Yeshua, the great I am's love, and through Ruach Raka, our rock, the great I am's Holy Spirit, and who you are, the great I am. Now praise be to the Most High. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise. Hope to make you proud. Let thy will be done in and on earth as it is in heaven. Let's get into it. This probably be my last one of these. If you know me, lately it might be seem different, but you know what I'm saying? I really don't like to be in the limit line like this. But anyway, I know I sound like the droids. Shout out to Dro. If y'all know who that is, look it up. He with them Jada Kisses and Paps and you know what I'm saying? He obviously don't get that credit. But yeah. It's more of a we'll deal with that later. Anyway. Okay. Oh yeah, and the Wu-Tang. No. Wu-Tang Clan. Now before I forget this, shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. I was told to say this. This is what even like how it was brought to me to start it in the first place. How Wu-Tang Clan, y'all know the third rapping, quote unquote rapping, their poetry with music. If y'all have heard Shakespearean poetry, sonnets, whatever, if y'all notice, back then they had their own little music, right? I'm giving they would something similar to if you watch that show, David, the real one, not the cartoon, the real one, the House of David, I think it is. I know he would get that harp, like that little small harp thing, Lyre, Lyre. Don't ask. Well, I do know how I know that, but I don't know it though. But yeah, let's give it. I can't take credit for that. Lyre. Anyway, where I get that from? if you don't believe me, if you don't believe me by now. But anyway, y'all have to look into it because I can't even. But somehow I know. Yeah. But anyway, um, somehow. Let me stop. Give credit where credit is due. This is what was given to share, so y'all know where it's coming from. Believe it or not. Yeah, it's real. Okay. But you take your poetry and put it with music, and that's what they was doing back then. When they was doing these Shakespearean sonnets, plays, or whatever they want to call it in front of entertaining, just like we do now. They was on stage with their background helping to hype me, basically giving concerts. And how's this stuff mimicked? But then he said, nothing is new under the sun, right? And then there's other ones. Y'all know how it goes. Basically, it's been done before. Then you hear them talking about loops and blah, blah, blah. Then the loops tie into what? I'm playing with time, time travel, so on and so forth. Now I'm going to, if y'all notice, even in these backgrounds or shadows, you have one mimicking the other, good and bad, right? There's a good one, there's a bad one in all of it. They're basically in the background trying to balance stuff, just like, the angels been doing since the beginning of time, right? Battling for one thing, our heart and minds and spirits, the spirit of our heart and mind, spirit of our heart to mind. That's how I'm supposed to say it. Apparently, that's how it goes. Soul is the vessel for who we really are, or the spirit, which is the consciousness. And there's a difference, but we'll get into that. Let's just say the soul is like the bone that's connected to the nerve of the spirit that's connecting everything, holding everything together to where you can, everything interact with each other at the same time. Yes. How do I know all this? You already know the answer. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, and the crazy part, well, that's the reason why this ain't been done before. Because you have to be willing to, we'll put it lightly, willing to be looked at a certain way and not really care, but love enough to be like, look, I'm doing this for you, right? Basically what it says you have to do to, you know what I'm saying, get back on. That's the whole point, if you ask me. I mean, especially the way stuff is now, don't y'all want to, don't y'all feel it enough to say, yeah, let's go back home. We got the gist of it. We get it. Creator, parent, father, great I am. We understand now. We get it. Yeah, you right. Can we go back home now? It's like we done went to college. And we like, yes. The whole time we talking about I can't wait till I get grown, get up out of here. Do what I want to do. And then you out there living life. You know what I'm saying, doing what the parents did. You like, look, I don't want to be the most high of my world no more. I liked when I was a kid. Right? Listen. Yeah. Ain't nothing to do under the sun. For real, for real. Anyway. Yeah. So let me finish. But anyway, yeah, this after this it shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Any question about it should be, you know what I'm saying? How do we get together and bring it on home? If you know, you know. But yeah, I see you. I see. Anyway, let's bring it on home. Okay, listen, and it's an honor, by the way, spiritually and earthly. You know, if you know me, family know how it is, and the road, boy, it may look, but I'm telling you, the the reason it said that, you know what I'm saying, the burden is light is because basically you just gotta be you, be real, authentic, be you. Everything's gonna be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be carried, but it's like you still feel it as if, you know what I'm saying, you're the one doing it. You just witnessing it though. You know what I'm saying? So it's still, because technically it is you, you're just not dealing with everything. If you can understand what I'm saying. So it still weighs on you, like you still see it. Just, I mean, the whole point is for you to witness it. And it's kind of like, y'all know, in the Scrooge story, and he was taking and seeing all this stuff from the, you know what I'm saying, from a different perspective. It's still, you know what I'm saying, even though he wasn't there to participate, like it still hits you as if you are. I guess what I was trying to say. But anyway, it'll all make sense. Let me hurry up and get through this. But yeah, but the fact that everybody's, you know what I'm saying, that's getting it, is getting it, like, I don't care, but it's nice to know that y'all understand. That's all. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying, for nothing. Because that's the only thing I wish for everybody is that, you know what I'm saying, y'all at least experience it. Because I feel like once you do, and that makes sense to mustard seed, like, it's so much that's more than what it is. And I think it's been masterfully done. Every detail, every dotted I and crossed T. Yeah, that's the reason I even said it that way. But think about how deep just that is. But you have to imagine, like, the mind to come up with what's said and what's meant has these three different meanings on purpose, almost coded to, for certain. And yeah, just thinking about it, it's like I said, if you know, you know, you know who I'm talking to. It was really masterfully done. And one day we'll get it. But yeah. And it makes sense. Ain't nobody else able or would be able to do what is done except the creator. Like, the understanding is wild. But anyway, would never be, like on the Indiana Jones series, that last one, that lady was in there, and them, that skull and all of them became one, and then that woman was like, she wanted to know all that stuff, and when she started getting it all, she like burst. Yeah. No spirit could handle all that, yeah, it takes to be the great I am. Not that knowledge. You can, like, nobody could. You'd have to be omnipotent and all the other arms. Yeah, you'd have to be that to get it. Ears ringing. I'm listening. I heard. But anyway, you're right. We gotta get to it. Okay. Y'all know about the reset, missing 1,000 years, so on and so forth. Then you got all this technology where it looks like, you know, stuff was, for lack of a better word, perfect and peaceful at one point. Now, where did this go wrong? And why are we still pretending to make sense if what was supposed to happen or did happen was stopped because, well, let's go back. Remember Adam and Eve? And all of a sudden the reptile, snake, whatever, reptilian, snake, whatever, was in the garden. And we're still seeing, nobody's really, we're coming up with nobody really knows, right, unless she was there. Well, apparently, you know how they talking about those portals and all this old stuff. God particle playing with it. So I don't know, ever since they brought up that up, stuff been different. But anyway, and of course they've been knowing about this for a minute, but since they brought it up to us, because I have to remember, man is the key, and I don't mean man like guys. I'm talking about guys and girls and stuff. I'm talking about man like the creation that was made in thy likeness. Okay. We've always had, and the reason why we had dominion is because we were always the key to stuff manifesting here. Made in thy likeness means we was the heir to these monies, and in the spiritual, the monies is the gifts. So the whole time people been saying, preaching to you, all these gifts and these treasures. Ain't been looking at it from an earthly perspective. That's the reason why I can care less either way. It would be nice to not worry on that front, but apparently, even if you have all that money, apparently there's something still missing to where they still following the stuff that, not even the common folk fall into. And you like, if you're good over there, what's the problem? Well, it makes sense why it'll be easier for a rich man to fit through the eye of a needle a camel than to make it into heaven. It's like, which what I've said before, it's because your perspective is earthly. Of course, you can't fit a camel through the eye of a needle, right? But if you take that eye of a needle, and the clues are in the details, you put it up to your eye, and you look at that camel, guess what? That camel will fit into the eye of that needle. It's perspective. Through the eye of a needle. Yeah, now it makes sense, right? That's what I'm saying. Crazy, but it makes sense. It makes sense now, right? But you have to have the understanding of the wisdom. You're not just going to get that. You got to go through to receive it. And just being given this stuff. And if you go down that road to receive it, to be trusted with it, you got to show that you can be. And a lot of people don't want to take that road. They say they do, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy as it looks. And if you was wanting it, you'd be better off having somebody else go through it, and then they telling you and giving you the shortcut. It's like that parent being like, listen, I don't want you to go through what I went through. Here's the easy route. Just like we was doing in the Garden of Eden. Look, I don't want you to go through what I found out you would have to go through. Here, just don't eat from this. I gotta put it out there because you have free will, choice. I'm telling you, don't mess with it. You ain't gonna like it. And then you know how some of us are, we hard here. So we messed around and found out. But anyway, back to it. Okay. So now he done hopped into that's why this is one of the most known stories. He done portaled there. Gate, stargates, and all this old stuff. And y'all can go look into all of this stuff. I trust what I'm, because if you go back and look, I've been given stuff before. So before you call me too crazy, y'all just ain't been looking at it. So that's not my fault. I did my part. If you know, you know. I can only do so much. But anyway, do what I'm told, brother. Anyway, I just don't want to let y'all, I don't want to let nobody down. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason because I don't really like doing all this. But when I've gotten more comfortable, it ain't that bad. But if you know me, I'm really to myself. And I understand why people are to themselves. Once you get to this, you get it. You know what I mean? You get it why you gotta be in isolation and so on and so forth. It makes sense. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Because as y'all can see, doing a little timer up there. Apparently, well, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but which I've never seen before, but I got so much time left to do any video. Like it's started off 49, now it's like that number goes down, but the time that I'm using is going up. So I guess once it gets to the other number, like I can't record or stuff no more. So let me try and get this in. That's why I'm letting it. It's gonna be long, but It'll be worth it. Okay, so poured it in. Now, I know y'all gonna look into all this stuff. The science is gonna prove the spiritual. The math, all of it. Okay. I'm getting it. Everything is numbers. The matter is in sequential numbers and for the order, and the time just unites it all. Yeah. Was he? He go to MIT, right? Anyway, yes. Some people will tell you how do you ain't supposed to know this stuff. How do you? But anyway, okay. Time traveling. It's the reason. They've been knowing about this stuff for the longest. A lot of this stuff, this history, there's been so many back doors opened and so many timelines messed with, and that's the reason why only certain people have, as you think about Back to the Future and the Biffs and in the book, and now imagine if you had about, let's say there was billions, but I'm being told it's not really billions of people either. But it's kind of like how they're saying that one country doing is making it seem like it's so many people, but it's really not. Just reporting it that way. Who's gonna go and count everybody, right? Anyway, let's say even 100. If 100 people did that, and they going back and forth, and like the one movie, Tub Machine, Time Tub, whatever that movie is. And everybody going back, and even 100 people would miss, everything up, right? And then how many times are they doing it, and so on and so forth. And their kids doing it, they know about it, and they telling friends, and you know what I'm saying? So everybody playing with it, right? Because you thinking to yourself, when these people were at peace and had all this technology and free energy, it's like, well, how did they have and know all this stuff and same stuff we have now? And it didn't seem like, there was much fight. Now, how did these people get taken over? They had more riches than they needed, so why wouldn't you take care of, even if you was a king, why wouldn't you take care of, your people if you got money like that? Like, go look into it. And apparently it wasn't as many people, so it was okay. So imagine somebody comes out of the blue and you ain't just someone, but you've already been living these 1,000 years to where in peace, to where they have a chance to take advantage because you were already at peace and happy and loving, and so you accepted everybody. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can take over somebody that powerful. Is you take advantage of their kindness, right? Which we all know how that can go to this day. That's the only way you overtake, especially with the technology and stuff they had. Now you sharing your technology, you just want them to be okay. They come in rattle-tattered from you don't know where, and they telling you blah, blah, blah. And you have technology, so hey, it's definitely possible. I got 10 minutes left to say all this. But anyway, y'all getting the gist of it. Plus, like I said, once they did this, got the right stuff to take over, they went back, redid some stuff right before we got to the 1,000. And that's why everything is looping and crazy. They just didn't let it get to the finish of the 1,000 years and the, you know what I'm saying, of peace. That's the reason why it was said it was 1,000 year peace instead of, we end up straight in heaven. And so on and so forth. It's like, well, why wouldn't we just go straight to heaven? Well, now it makes sense. They went right before and got to the way we got to the 1,000 years peace using that. Yeah, the time travel stuff. I know, but hear me out. If you think about it, what is this 1,000 years that was missing where everything gets all fumbled and jumbled? We're missing it somewhere, no matter how you do the timelines. It's missing somewhere. And the reason why it's not missing, they stopped it and retold everything. Now you still gotta have the truth in there so that it makes sense, right? And that's the only reason lifespans be getting shorter and shorter, because, like it says at the end, if you change it, add to it, or take away from it, you'll surely what? That's the only reason we ain't been living as long, because we're supposed to. And that's the reason we have to be controlled. It's because we have dominion. And that means us together, the majority, what we manifest is going to be just like it was back then with Adam and Eve. See, back then it was just Adam, and then it was just Adam and Eve. So it's them two. They come together, or two or more, they gathered in my name. There I am also. And if he's with you, anything is possible. Because he's just showing you how to do it. So they were manifesting stuff and then naming it, which is what we do now in the mass. That's the reason why they get the media and all this whole stuff to control the masses. Now, if they do it in fear, well, if you're scared, you want somebody to come and help you. And if they the ones that come and help you, well, guess what? Now you feel safe with them. So now you listen to them and doing what they say. Because you feel safe. Because you were scared. So that's the reason why they want you scared. And they call it loose or whatever. You can't control nobody if they don't want to be controlled unless they want to be controlled. Now, how do you make somebody want to be controlled without them knowing that they're controlled? Is you make them feel safe because they're scared. So that's the reason why they use fear and stuff to, control you. But either way, whoever has the majority, just like, that's the reason why they, they run that political stuff. But if you have the majority okaying it, no matter what the rest of them talking about. And they done told you, look, this is who, you know what I'm saying? Unless we okay it, trust me, they'll have all kinds of problems. Because it won't come to pass unless they have the okay from the ones who have dominion, which is us. But it's collectively, which makes sense. Because, like Kanye said, no one man should have all that power. So it has to be majority. That's where they get the democracy from. It's us. They gotta get us to okay in the majority, not us giving them the majority vote. They gotta get our majority vote for it to manifest. So with that being said, y'all know how in the Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy find these friends along the way, and they all have this one thing that they searching for. Their main thing that bothered them their whole existence. Got to make them whole, and they got together. Let's go figure out a way to be whole together. That's the bad side of the 6-7. The element periodic table. Whole, not whole. But really it is spiritually about the 6 above, 6 below, and 7 on one side, 7 on the other, and aura. But they not telling y'all that they're making it the other stuff. Well, they're not making it, but for the earthly side of it, they came up with that, so it throws you off and you don't know about that. But anyway, that's in the videos too, so I told y'all. Okay. Let me get back to it. Okay, so in the Wizard of Oz, they was trying to figure out how to be whole, and then Dorothy was trying to get back home, right? And everybody looked at Dorothy like she was this, you know what I'm saying? She was the only, human man. And, everybody looks, there's many people that look similar, but, you know what I'm saying? She was the only who she was. And you notice there's witches and warlocks and wizards and evil and good. And they all had their one side, right? Good and bad, right? And there's that journey. And they finally get there. And come to find out. And they knew it. Even the good side knew it. Didn't tell them because, they needed them to. Right. And the way back home was with her all the time. You know why? Because all we had to do was think. I want to go home. And once you did that, you realized what you needed was inside you, with you the whole time. You just had to concentrate. Now we know this. Let's concentrate together. Manifest it, see it, what we want home to look like. And think about how it was before the reset. Y'all seen the buildings. That was lasers and frequency. They call them frequency lasers. Probably in another language, but that's basically what they was. They have a certain frequency. They can see, like we do now, when we look at water with the frequency and what it look like. Okay, the building gonna look like it. The top of it gonna look like it. The side of it gonna look like it when you play the frequency. Y'all seen them, it's made squares and circles and all kind of geometric shapes. And all they had to do, like they use these lasers now to create food and stuff. Hey, we wanted to make this. Tap it in, it does it. Some pretty amazing machines to do that stuff, right? Yeah, they just run around finding that stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's about to run out. I know it's a long video. Let's get together. Think about it. We got some stuff to go off of. We can tweak it if we want to a little bit. Let's just get back home, man. Aren't you ready? Don't y'all feel it? That's what y'all feeling. It's quantum entanglement.